Hi, class and Professor Rodriguez. My name is Abby Guerra, and I'm very happy to meet every one of you. I'm going to cover one of the many important topics that we as aspiring new teachers will need to pay close attention to. My topic is poverty, and I have already posted my handout. Here it is. In my handout, my question to you was, is education enough to fight poverty? Well, before we answer this question, let's talk about what poverty in school means. So the word poverty has many different meanings depending on life situations. These life situations will affect our students' knowledge, expectation, their confidence, and sadly, they will be held back from taking opportunities from furthering their education. When I thought about unfortunate students, the first thing that came into my mind was the ones that receive free lunch. In fact, in our course book, those who can teach, on page 97, it states students in poverty generally receive free or reduced lunch. The U.S. Census Bureau classifies these families as lower class with little prestige or power. So let's think about that. Little prestige, little power, no respect, helpless, poor. So let me break that down for you. First, we have the generational poverty. That could mean that a student never had anyone to look up to who benefited from education. They never knew anyone who climbed the economic ladder or who was respected at a job. Their family moved from place to place. Their families most likely were illiterate. The family's main focus is to try to make it through the day. Second, we have the working class poverty, which just goes on to mean that family is working, but rarely has money to cover their child's wants or even their wants. So most of them don't own a home. They live paycheck to paycheck. They don't have any health care. Their main focus is making it, through the next couple of weeks, or even try to make it through the month. Third, we have the situational poverty. That could mean that the student is surrounded by educated people that earn a decent living, but they're experiencing a family crisis like divorce, loss of employment, deteriorating health issues. And fourth, we have the immigration or immigrant poverty, whose family faces the language and culture barriers with little resources. So now your students going through any of these situations will learn and store in their young minds that no one cares. I don't belong in anywhere. Everyone seems smarter. Someone like me cannot be educated, and no one can help me. Now, to give you an idea of what poverty in the city of Dallas looks like, I found a memorandum of the Mayor's Task Force on Poverty update that was posted on May 2nd of 2018. You can find this online. So since 2000, the number of people in poverty in the city of Dallas has increased approximately 39.1%, while the city's population increased by only 7.6%. All right, so it goes on to say that the children of Texas are the face of poverty, literally. Children of Texas are the face of poverty. This bar graph shows the percent of families with children below the poverty level. Dallas is at 28.8%, Houston 27.9%, San Antonio 22.5%, Fort Worth at 20%, and Austin in 17.5%. It shows us that Dallas has the second highest child poverty rate among the large cities in the U.S. Right over here. We are the second. Dallas is in pink. Kind of hard to see. But it's at 35.6%. A lot. Now, there has been some improvement, according to this memorandum, in child poverty. Since 2015 to 2016, it went from 37.2 to 35.6. All right, and so this report goes on to tell us that one of the drivers of poverty in the city is lack of educational attainment. All right. It means that people are giving up on achieving their goals and careers. It's 46.2% of Dallas's residents have a high school diploma or less. Now, as you can see, the mayor goes on to list many solutions. Some solutions here, more solutions over here, you know, a few more over here. But the one that's highlighted in yellow, I know this is all probably looking backwards, is the one that I was really looking at, which is the support initiative focusing on amelioration of child poverty, meaning the act of making something better. And it doesn't really go into detail, but this is where we come in. Each and every one of us who are willing to take on the challenge and help educate our young ones have to be armed and ready to break that poverty barrier. So back to my initial question, is education enough to fight poverty? Well, the answer is yes, and here's how. First, we need to treat every student with respect, no matter what socioeconomic status their families come from, because it is important for all students to feel respected and proud of where they come from. Second, reach out to families of your students. It's okay to gain their trust, and because together you can ensure to give their child the best education they deserve. Third, expect your students to achieve. Constant high standards and motivation will strengthen their confidence and their ability to achieve anything. Fourth, help them celebrate. Some families don't have the means to celebrate their child's birthdays. When you recognize your students on their birthdays, you're showing them that they matter. Fifth, take them on virtual places. A lot of students will never travel out of the city limits in which they were born. Exposing them to the world by pictures, videos, and many other activities will broaden their horizons and plant a seed in them to get out and explore the world. And lastly, never underestimate your influence. Your students will be looking up to you, and you have what it takes to show them the way to a bigger, brighter future. Now, it doesn't stop there. There are so many other ways a school as a whole can fight against poverty. I want to encourage you to do the research and gain as much knowledge as possible about this topic so that you can be the best educator we can be the best educators, because our students will depend on it. Here are some books on poverty that are listed at the top of the best-selling books. We have Teaching with Poverty in Mind. Teaching with Poverty in Mind. We have Engaging Students with Poverty in Mind, Poor Students, Rich Teaching, and A Framework for Understanding Poverty. Also, listen to the teachers with experience and apply what you have learned. Here are some TED Talks on poverty by Tony Allen and Jessica Sharp. So, you can see that. So it looks like I can go ahead and post the links to these in the description box. And so finally, in my own reflection about this topic, I can only imagine how many students fall through the cracks. But I am determined to give my all to each and every student, because they deserve a better future than the one that they think that they're destined to have. And so I leave you with this final quote from our textbook on page 101. We need to permanently abandon the belief that race and poverty determine how much students can and will learn. So thank you for listening. Goodbye for now.